And we're back. WBC 2024, day one. I've been in the Pennsylvania area for a couple days now, had a nice pre-con event with a bunch of friends, playing lots of Agricola and some other stuff. Always cool to be with my friends all over the country, from all over the country in one place this time of year. So day one, very early on, just want to start off the vlog with that micro summary of pre-con. And got settled last night into the condo with some friends and played one heat of Cascadia already. Cascadia is an event I didn't expect to be playing before I got here, but upon getting here I was looking at my schedule closer and it conflicts with nothing. I'd only played like 2 times before this, but got in a nice session of practice last night, talked with some very good players about it, and got better ideas of how to do strategy. And Heat 1, I won nicely, 108 to, I think, 95-ish was my closest competitor, so very happy about that. That already qualifies me for the quarterfinals later in the week, so I don't need to play Heats 2 and 3, but I plan on it because, again, they don't conflict with anything. Then 2 p.m. today is Agricola Heat 1, 4 p.m. Agricola Heat 2, and 7 p.m. is both Agricola Heat 3 and 7 Wonders Heat 2. 7 Wonders, that's the only heat I can play of it. So I'm hoping to go 2-0 in Agricola. Then I won't need to play Heat 3 to make the semifinal of Agricola. Then I can play the 7 Wonders Heat and hopefully make the playoffs of that. However, there's a chance that the Agricola final won't be able to be moved this year, and if that's the case, it conflicts with the 7 Wonders quarterfinal. So I'm already having to make a tough decision on what I want to prioritize. I can pray for the Agricola final to be moved, but chances apparently aren't good. So, scheduling has always been tough for me this first Saturday, given Agricola and 7 Wonders have traditionally been on these in these 2 days, today and tomorrow, with the rounds and playoffs, and those are 2 of my top games. So we'll see what I can end up doing. I managed to make 5th place in both of them last year, which is excellent, but it would be cool if I could get first in either of them. We'll see what happens. My first 2 heats of Agricola will really, hopefully, tell me what I'm supposed to do. Either I go 2-0, or if I do really badly, then it's an easy call to do 7 Wonders instead. We'll see about that. And then Wingspan Heat 1 starts tomorrow. So that's the recap at the start of day 1 here at 7 Springs. And more updates from me as the week continues. Okay, I didn't get as much time to record another vlog as soon as I wanted to. It is now Monday, so that means all of Saturday, all of Sunday, and the first part of Monday has already happened. So here is, maybe I'm going to go the first 24 hours of the missing 48 hours first, and then pick up the camera again for part 2 of this part 2. So, Saturday, after Heat 1 of Cascadia, played another Heat of Cascadia, won that one as well. It felt less good, but it still had a decent margin against my opponents. I got to 100, which is kind of like a pretty solid game. It's not going to beat the top-level players, though, so still room to improve on that. After Cascadia was Agricola Heat 1. I got put at a very tough table. All the Agricola tables are just insane, and if you don't win them, it's super understandable. So I lost Heat 1 to a close friend, but I was not close myself. I lost by like 10. I did not have a great game. I didn't have great seating order relative to the newer player, and that just happens. That just happens in heats. So I got 3rd place in Heat 1. Then played Heat 2, and I had a better game. I went from Revised to EIK because I was willing to be flexible on whatever the GM needed. I figure even though I'm better at Revised, I'm still pretty dang good at EIK, and the playoffs are extremely likely to end up being EIK. So game 2 ended up being EIK. Again, matched up with good friends and a very strong table. This time I got to first pick a Plow Driver out of a super weak first pack, and Manservant was in that pack, but I didn't really expect Manservant to get back because of how crappy the rest of the Ox in that pack were. And I think there was a bit of table talk about the occupations being bad, so even though Manservant is not like worth much on its own. It's still like worth a draft pick if nothing is exciting, in my opinion. So I got Manservant back. Also in the draft were Shepherd Boy, and well, there's a Builder's Trowel and a Stonebreaker. I ended up with the Builder's Trowel. There was a Clay Hut extension I almost played but didn't. I had a Quarry, so with these, I saw bad Ox. Other people had good Ox, it turns out. But I got my Quarry out with a Quarryman. So the 3 Stonehouse Ox and Quarryman were my 4 Ox to get to Quarry. Ended up building a hard stone room at the end, and scored 52 to win by 2 against a Field Watchman Clay supports. So I feel really good about that one. There was a key stage 4 first action, so it might have been round 9 or 11. I don't remember which, but the Field Watchman really could have used a so-bake for food efficiency. They had the stone oven, and I had a grain and veg and 2 empty fields. It must have been round 11, because that's when Plow Driver would have happened for the second time. I would have had a second empty field. Yeah, so grain veg in round 11, first action as start player. Field Watchman Clay Sports was on my right. And I think that won me the game. And my friend agrees in retrospect that taking away that good food move was really important for winning that game. Okay, so then, as I referred to my program, because I don't remember the order of anything after, like, 12 hours. So, after Agricola Heat 2, I have a third and a first, and I have to decide whether I want to play Agricola Heat 3. A win or a second place makes the Agricola semifinal almost certainly, and otherwise I can play the only Heat of 7 Wonders. I end up deciding to play 7 Wonders. I thought I had a better chance of winning the 7 Wonders event starting with nothing than winning the Agricola event. And it just felt like I could make a clean decision. It felt like a thing I wanted to play at the time. So that's what I did. 7 Wonders heats are 2 games each against the same table. You mix up the seating order and the Wonders. Game 1, I have the worst score of 7 Wonders I've had in multiple years, probably. I scored 40, and I don't remember the context of that, but it was really bad. No, I think it was Olympia, and the rest of the table did weird stuff that I wasn't ready for, which is partially on me, but I also had bad opening packs. Like, the first age packs were not good to me. Neither were the age 3 packs. So I took a 4th in game 1, and I definitely need a win in one of the 2 games of the Heat to advance to the 7 Wonders quarterfinal. Thankfully, game 2 I got to play Rhodes, which is very dominant against the strategies that most people here play, which is not theoretically perfect 7 Wonders. It can do very well against a lot of strategies, but the one thing that the majority of players here don't quite realize is how badly they get strategically dominated by Rhodes. And I had Rhodes in game 2 of that Heat, and I had a pretty comfortable win. So I more or less was eligible for the quarterfinal at that point. So that was Saturday, and I'm going to put down the camera, remind myself what happened on Sunday, and then talk about it. Okay, so Sunday started off with an Azul Heat. Deciding to play some Azul this year. I've been improving a bit recently, and got seated at a good situation in this first Azul Heat, and yeah, it was a good seating situation, and I got some moves that were very easy, good moves, and was able to win that table comfortably by over 10, even though I don't think I played the best at the table. I think I was slightly worse than the player to my left, but I had some good fortune. So I won that Azul Heat, which means some kind of decent Azul result will get me into the Azul quarterfinal at that point later in the week. After Azul was Wingspan Heat 1, and Wingspan has a quarterfinal this year instead of just going to a semifinal like it was last year, which means that actually for Wingspan I only need 1 Heat win to advance to the quarterfinal, which is good. I have pretty good chances of getting a heat win. However, this heat of Wingspan, I got paired at the same table with a co-finalist from last year's final table and the person who won the play-by-email tournament last year. So it was not an easy table. I was right between them, which is better than being right after both of them. So that table, that heat, I started off pretty decently, didn't have amazing stuff going, but I did find a lot of tuck and draw powers to run. I think I ended up with American Robin in the forest, Purple Martin and Barn Swallow in the grasslands, a couple free cards from a Wilson Snipe throughout the game, meaning I needed one less draw action than usual, and Ruddy Duck, which also reduced the amount of draw actions I need to take. I probably took 3 or 4 draw actions the entire game, so that was really efficient for me. I also managed to find plenty of bonus card birds, and not only did I end up with 5 bonus cards, I was able to play 11 birds, which raises your average bonus expectation, but my bonus cards went above expectation. On my first 4 bonus cards, I was at 23, but the last bonus card, unfortunately, I whiffed, so that's what happens. It all evens out in the long run. I also made a completely brainless last move. I laid 4 eggs, and I forgot about the end of round goal. So I accidentally threw a swing of 2 against my right-hand opponent, one of the really experienced players. However, with the bonus cards and a very solid rest of the game, I had 15 tucks on the 3 birds that I had tuck draw. So I'm cycling through my hand, getting better and better birds over time, end up playing some very good birds, and I end up with a win of 95, 92, 92. So feeling good about that, playing against such good competition and winning, despite making a couple small mistakes. That's, I think, a really good sign for me. I think having some 4-player practice online in the last few weeks, instead of playing 2-player arena like usual, was a good move. So feeling very good about Wingspan. I might or might not play the remaining heats is what I'm thinking at this point on Sunday. Okay, so then after the Wingspan heat, we go into the 7 Wonders playoffs. Quarterfinal and semifinal are back-to-back. So quarterfinal for 7 Wonders. We are now bidding for Wonders. We randomly draw the Wonders, 4 of them, and we bid on them with our seat positions locked, which is a bit unfortunate. But look, we get to have bidding in 7 Wonders. We get to play 2 games instead of 1. Both of those are excellent things to have in a tournament. So very happy overall with the format, despite small things I'd rather have. Not a huge deal. Quarterfinal. Game 1. Yeah, see, it's 24 hours after, and I'm already forgetting the details. I have the result written down. I have the pictures on my phone, which I should have looked at. But I end up with a first place in game 1. What wonder did I play? Probably Halicarnassus. I bid Halicarnassus the highest out of anything, usually. And if it was dealt in as one of the random 4, I was probably playing it. So, second round, I end up second place because my opposite had roads and a very easy 72. I think I got 62 with Halicarnassus, which is obviously also good. So I got a first and a second, and that was better than the first and third that the winner of game 2 had. So I qualified for the semifinal. As the wind is picking up here, it looks like we might get some rain soon, as happens everywhere but California. We get afternoon rain in places, so that's fun. I guess I better wrap up soon. So won the quarterfinal effectively, then make it to the semifinal. The Wonders drawn, this is all original edition. I didn't have to play a revised 7 Wonders, thankfully. We drew Alexandria, Ephesus, Rhodes, and Halicarnassus, which are the 4 best ones, probably. So the bidding wasn't as intense, and I end up getting Halicarnassus for 2, and the person who ended up with Rhodes got Rhodes for 1. During the bidding, I had it in the back of my mind, like, Rhodes is a safer pick. It's maybe less powerful, but it might just be the safer pick in this crowd. And I have big regrets, because I ended up getting 4th place in that game. Rhodes was across from me again, and my neighbors did weird military things trying to fight with Rhodes. And Rhodes won. I got 4th because I had nowhere to go. And getting a 4th in game 1 of 2 is pretty much you're out. So game 2, we had a different set of wonders to bid on. Babylon is being played a bit weird because they're giving a handicap to people who don't really know how to deal with Babylon. In Original Edition, you get to skip the first wonder stage. So, I decided I'll try that if the bidding is good enough. And yeah, everyone else went to at least 3 points to not play Babylon, and at that point was like, I got this. So I had a very solid 57 in game 2, still didn't win. I don't remember the exact things that happened, but I had kind of checked out. I also don't think I got a good Age 1. Yeah, I got a really bad Age 1 set of cards as Babylon in that game, but still pulled a 57. So happy enough with how I played that one. But just a humongous mistake to not bid Rhodes there, because I know how people here play. I just, for some reason, didn't think that through fully, and I paid for it. So that's that. 7 Wonders out in the semifinal. Unfortunate. Last item of yesterday was St. Petersburg Heat 1. St. Petersburg I've been working on a tiny bit, but been playing lots of games with Rainier and others to practice up for the event. And I get seated with him, with Rainier in Heat 1, and, so it's kind of like a coin flip between us who's most likely to win. I got first workers, which is rough. You never want first workers. Ryan had first upgrades. We both had some good flips, and he took it down 51-50. A very close, well-played game. I thought I was farther back, but I think I frequently underestimate my St. Petersburg games. I have a good estimation on others' final scores, but I have a bad estimation on my own final score, which is pretty funny. I think I should probably, if I make the playoffs, be counting out people's expected final scores. That should be a good thing for me to do. But to play such a close game, even with some good luck, first workers is really bad seeding luck, but the rest of my seeding luck was pretty good. So still feel good enough about my play that I don't think I need to work on anything or change anything, just not get rusty before the St. Petersburg playoffs and not get too unlucky to miss out on the St. Petersburg playoffs. They have a quarterfinal, so I should be fine as long as I play the other heats, which are currently in my schedule. So that was the end of yesterday, kind of, because after the St. Pete, I ended up hanging out with some friends, then playing an open game of Agricola. I've done plenty of open gaming, by the way, that just isn't in these updates because they're dense enough. I have enough to cover. But that open game of Agricola, I was, really, for whatever reason, super tired, falling, mentally asleep. Didn't have the best Agricola game, but that didn't matter super much. I was like, let me go to the condo. I know it's only 10 p.m., but went to the condo, relaxed, and then went to bed not late. So that leaves us to today, Monday morning. Played Azul at 9 a.m., heat number 2. I got another very solid win in Azul, so I guess I've gotten better. I don't really know what I've changed recently compared to being a 300-ish player on BGA, but apparently I've gotten better, or maybe the stuff I'm doing is really effective against this crowd because of whatever strategic difference there is between WBC players and online players. It's one of the two, maybe it's both. But regardless, feeling very good about how I'm doing in Azul and Cascadia and these games that I wasn't super intending to play much this week, making up for the fact that didn't make Agricola playoffs, didn't make 7 Wonders final again, even though I think I could be the best 7 Wonders player in this field. And of course, having the Wingspan win already against a good field is super good. This afternoon, planning to play more things I wasn't super expecting to play. There's a Wingspan Heat at 3 p.m. Expecting to do that. And playing a Dominion soon. Maybe I'll play a Stone Age for fun. Probably going to play Cascadia Heat 3. Probably not doing any heats of Ticket to Ride. Probably not doing Late Night Ingenious, but those are both options. So yeah, that's the Monday update. It's a long one because of time missed. I'll try to get one of these every day or so. Tomorrow is Tuesday, which is the auction day. Might or might not open game throughout the morning and afternoon when games aren't really allowed to run tournaments. So might do that, might have some outdoor activity planned with friends. We'll see how that goes. Okay, wind is picking up, it's getting darker, I'm gonna go.